You're going first, by the way. I want to hear your bike. Wow. Alright guys, so I am out here on a little ride with Sally. She's got her Indian Chieftain, which, you know, I guess it sounds okay. Oh, she's a putz. You're a putz. Yeah, so this is the Indian and Harley Chronicles here. We're just going to go out for a little ride and enjoy the weather. So, yeah, we're just kind of hanging out and seeing what comes our way. This actually might be a good time. Oh, you had to do that under the bridge, right? You had to? Oh my gosh. Obnoxiously loud. But it sounds good. It sounds good. So actually, this might be a time for me to talk to you guys a little bit about how I traded my Harley for an Indian before I ever picked up my Harley. I said that story would be coming, and here it is. So this is kind of a long story, but it's a good story. And Sally, you can chime in if you have any other comments, because I know that, you know, obviously you went to the Harley dealership with me, and I think you had some thoughts as well. But, you know, basically, so what had happened was I told you guys in a previous video about how I had a trailer that I was trying to trade and everything, and Mom South just wasn't interested. I also had two other bikes that I was trading in. I had a Yamaha Raider and a Yamaha FJ 1300 ES. And, okay, what's the thing? Why is she over there? Let's see. All right, I'm gonna, okay, that's a good reason, I think. There we go.
Going straight or right?
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, so basically I was kind of forced into this Harley thing because they were going to give me the best deal for my bikes and my trailer. But, you know, my heart wasn't really fully in it, and then it became less in it as time went on. You schmuck. So, I mean, first things first, this is not a horrible bike. In fact, it's really not even a bad bike. You'd be lucky to have this bike, generally speaking. It's just that I'm spoiled. I'm completely spoiled by Indians. I really am. And, but I really thought that this bike would be like maybe a 1 or 2 year thing, and just, you know, I had some equity already in it because I was trading stuff in, but maybe I'd get some more equity in it over time and then trade it in for the Indian that I actually wanted. So basically the way that it went is I went to about maybe 4 different Harley dealerships in my area and got quotes from most of them as far as what they would pay for my trade-in stuff, and really wasn't overjoyed with any of them. One came somewhat close, or at least that's what they told me, and this dealership was a ways away from me. So sales manager, you know, we were kind of emailing back and forth and calling back and forth, and I was like, you know, I had kind of settled on a Road Glide Special. I mean, if I'm going to have something for a year, I just thought this was the cooler looking of the bunch, and it was different than anything I'd really had as far as this whole fairing situation and stuff. So, you know, I knew what I was getting. It was a matter of where I would get it. So that's basically all it came down to. And unfortunately, I just feel like the guy, I don't want, he certainly, I don't think he wasn't dishonest. He was just really vague. And he was like, you know, if you notice, one thing Harley doesn't do is they don't provide numbers, or they don't provide prices on their bikes, like online, for example. What they're counting on, in addition to the emotional factor that most dealerships count on, is pressure. We want to get to the right here, Sally, right? I gotcha. So they're counting on pressure, and that's what Harley dealerships are really good at. They apply the pressure. And if you like that, or if you succumb to that, then that's what's gonna, you know, that'll do it. But you know, I'm not a big fan of high pressure approach. So anyway, this guy's telling me, like, because I provided a set of numbers as far as what I wanted for my trades, and he's like, yeah, I'm really, really close. I said, okay. Well, I said, I don't want to make a trip up for nothing because you guys are, a long ways away. And he's like, no, it won't be a wasted trip. We're really, really close. So he wouldn't give me a number, but he just kept saying, we're really close and we're closer than anybody else is going to get and blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking, like, all right, maybe he's like, I don't know, $500 off or something like that of where I want to be. So we go up there, and he gives me numbers, and he's like over $3,000. That's a nice car. Yes, nice cars. Wow. And he gives me numbers that are like over $3,000 off of where I wanted to be. Basically numbers that, had I known, I don't know that I would have made the trip up. I don't know, to be honest with you. But it still wasn't bad. I mean, it was better than what I was getting at other places, so that's okay. And so he presents those numbers, and then basically, the one thing that Harley dealers will do, I mean, again, they seem to be a little bit more motivated to move their stock than Indian dealers, and they'll make, cool, yeah, nice. And they'll just make more deals. They'll discount their bikes more. They'll do better on a trade-in than Indian will. But so basically, he gave me a pretty good price on the Stage 1 kit for this bike, and so I was kind of like, well, all right, I guess we can do it. I didn't like the way things were going, but I had to remember that I had that trailer that nobody else wanted. I had tried to sell it for about 6 months between Craigslist and trailer sale sites and eBay, and it just wasn't budging. It's an odd size. It's a good size for a car, but it doesn't have a side door for a car so that you could actually get out. Gosh, that bike sounds so good. This bike is so quiet. I can't believe it. Even with the Stage 1 and the Screaming Eagle intake and the Reinhardt exhaust, it's just so quiet. Yours just sounds awesome. When I got up there, oh, that was a big bump. Oh my gosh, I am 3'6". Oh, well, you also missed the bump, to be completely fair. Oh, wow. Anyway, but as soon as I get up there, they give you a fit specialist. Don't laugh. They give you a fit. Twit. So they give you a fit specialist, which is basically, a way of saying here's your salesperson, and they don't allow them to get like less than 5 or 10 feet away from you at all times. So, but I mean, she was nice. Hang on, I think I will try to let you know before we go past the thing. I don't know. Could be. Yeah, let's do that. Even if it isn't, it still could be a fun adventure. But it could be. It's entirely possible. Yeah, I think it is, actually. There we go. So I'll call her I'll call her Jane, for lack of a better term. Just a fictitious name. So Jane is introduced as my fit specialist, and basically has to tail me around everywhere. And I kid you not, I mean, I've never seen anything like it. Have you, Sally?
Horrifying.
It was like, and I know it's not her personally. I mean, she's doing exactly what she's been trained to do. It was really intense, and I just felt bad because she's not allowed to be like more than 5 feet away. So I had to kind of continuously ask, like, hey, could we just look around a little bit? And she's like, sure, yeah. And she'd just follow us around. I'd be like, well, could we just look around like ourselves? Oh, yeah, definitely. If you don't want me to follow you, I won't. And then she moves like 3 more feet away. So she's like 8 feet away instead of 5. So it was really tough. And again, nothing personal against her. It's just the Harley training that I just don't like. And so, in fact, at one point, as I was trying to get the sales manager to rework some numbers, we're kind of waiting, and we're just standing there by the desk. So I said to Jane, I said, hey, do you mind if we go over to the parts desk? Okay, that's a double-person bicycle thing, huh? Cool. Probably still has a better suspension than this thing. So I said, do you mind if we go over and take a look at some grips? And she's like, yeah, we can do that after you sign for everything. And I was like, well, no, I just mean, like, don't you have, like, an open parts department that we can just go and take a look at stuff? Yeah, but we do that after you sign. That's our process. We'll go and meet everybody, and you can look at all the stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but I just want to browse. Like, I can't browse? So, anyway, so that was kind of what it was like. And in fact, at one point, I had to go out to get a registration out of the van, and I go out the door, I look to my right, she's right there, like 2 feet away, going out with me. And I'm like, I said, I'm just going to go out to get my registration. Yeah, I'll go with you. I'm like, look, I promise I'll come back. I will come back, and I will see you. I won't see anybody else, I promise. I'm just going to get this out of my car, and then I'll come back. She's like, oh, you don't want me to go with you over there? I'm like, no, I can do this all by myself. So it was just this crazy amount of, like, I don't know, company, I guess I'd call it. So finally we kind of reach an agreement on numbers, and it's like, they do this thing where they I don't know, I guess I just feel kind of insulted in a way, because it's almost like they treat you like you're there for them, not for the bikes, whereas opposed to Indian, where it really is all about the bikes, and the dealer is there to help you acquire the bike, but it really is all about the bike with them. But Harley, it's like, you must be here to see us. We're the best. We're awesome, and then they have to ring that bell and honk all the horns for like 15, 20 seconds. It's unbelievable. It's like, how condescending can you be to a customer? Is that really why I came here? So anyway, I guess this is how they make their sales, but I just found it really, really bizarre. I've never seen that at a car dealership, and I've bought probably 15 cars. So anyway, so they ask me, they say, are you going to be transferring plates, or are you going to get a new plate? And I was telling the sales manager, I was like, yeah, I've been kind of creating a little collection of plates from all of my vehicles, so yeah, I'll get a new plate. They said, okay, cool, no problem. So that was that, and I went home that night, and it wasn't like I was feeling great about it, but I just felt like I needed to get rid of that trailer, and I needed to do something, and Harley supposedly hold their value.